Good day, Simon.
Good day to you, Bruce. How are you today?
I'm recovering nicely, thank you very much. How
Good.
are you?
Still, that's been going on for a long time now, hasn't it?
I know.
Dear me.
It's a bit like when you watch TV shows, when it seems like the presenter's been pregnant for like 4 years.
Yes. It seems like Bart Simpson has been 8 years old for the last 4 decades. Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
You all know who we are, but just in case you've forgotten, I'm Simon Wells.
Yeah, he is Simon Wells.
Good. And he's Bruce Fielding.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Last time I checked,
Still.
anyway. Still, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We are both professional voiceover artists. We
Yes, we
talk
are.
for a living. And then we come here and we talk even more, just for the fun of it.
Well, because we're nerds.
Yes, we are.
I mean, let's be honest.
Proudly.
Yes.
We love facts. We both enter pub quizzes. I wouldn't say we bore people, but we enlighten and enrich people's lives with our useless knowledge and random facts and things.
Yeah.
And that's
if
why
you
we're...
say so.
Yeah, well, I do. And that's why we're here today. We're here to talk about a particular topic and give you lots of interesting facts.
Yes. Can you cook?
No,
Okay.
not really. You
I
can.
can.
I know you can.
I can, yes. I wouldn't describe myself, however, as a chef.
No. Okay.
I think I'm a cook.
Okay, fine.
So, the word chef.
The word chef.
Tell me about the word chef, Simon.
This episode has been one of great learning for me. I found a good number of facts that I didn't already know here. The word chef, the official title of the person who runs the kitchen in a restaurant, is the chef de cuisine. And it literally translates as head of the kitchen.
Oh.
So, chef means head, and it's related to the word chief, which
Yep.
means the head of a clan or the head of a tribe. It's been in use since the 1700s, chef de cuisine. Chef on its own became a thing in 1826. That was the first time we sort of stopped bothering to use the whole title, and that's what it's been ever since.
Cool.
There are other titles, some of them obsolete, but there were other titles in French that also use the word chef. The chef de cabinet was the private secretary, the head of the cabinet.
Uh-huh.
Chef de train was the railway guard or conductor.
Of course. Yes.
Chef d'école was the head teacher of a school.
Fair enough.
So, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the foodie ones.
So, chefs. Who was the first chef? When did chefs first appear? Was it the Romans or the Greeks?
Yes.
Was it? Was it really?
It was both of those. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. They had chefs.
Yeah. So chefs, I suppose this is where we need to distinguish between a cook and a chef, isn't it?
Yeah.
A cook is anyone who cooks. So people have always had cooks. For a start, people have always cooked. Obviously, we've always made food for ourselves.
It's why our brains are bigger.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the properties of heated food, it imparts certain nutrients and things that.
Well,
that
you
are good for the brain.
can actually. What it does is it means that you can get more calories down you, which means you can use more energy. Which
Oh, is that
your
right?
body can. Your brain uses up 25% of all the energy that you eat. So technically, the more you eat, the bigger and better your brain is.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I mean that obviously there are limits.
Yes, there are. I'm sure there's like an inverse curve there somewhere.
Yes.
So cooks have been around for ages. Those who are wealthy enough have always had private cooks in their household. And if you have a group of cooks within your household, you have to have one who's the head of them, who runs the whole show. And ancient Greece is the first mention that I could find of this particular role, sort of the head cook, or not actually using the word chef yet,
Yes.
but the head cook, the one in charge of the kitchen in a private establishment, goes back to ancient Greece. The Romans had them left, right and centre. Again, in private dwellings, we're not sort of talking restaurants here, but wealthy homeowners had their own private in-house cooking staff headed up by a chef.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Roman historian Livy said that the decline of the Roman Empire was connected with the rise in the cook's status.
Oh.
He said that the empire began to fall when people like cooks began to rise above their station. So they've been around for a long time.
They have. But not what we would call a chef.
No, not a chef.
They're sort of like sort of senior cook in the kitchen of a private house.
Yeah.
So what about the first chef? proper chef?
Well, so around the Middle Ages, around sort of the 15th, 16th centuries, you started getting people officially training. You started getting culinary schools, mostly in Italy. One of the first culinary schools was in Venice. It was called the Scuola Grande di San Rocco in Venice in the 1400s. And they started actually teaching people to be chefs as a profession. And it was pretty much for those who could pay. It was quite an expensive course. So you really sort of had to be, invested in this and make it your lifelong calling. And these people were trained again to sort of prepare banquets for the wealthy. You started getting celebrity chefs being headhunted by royal families, and the Pope. The Pope had his own private chef. So it's all been going on for several hundred years.
I believe there is a person who is officially accepted as the first chef. Well, the first celebrity chef, shall we say.
Yes, okay.
A guy called Marie-Antoine Carême. Obviously French.
Obviously.
Sort of like late 18th, early 19th century. He started off as a kitchen boy and later became an apprentice to a well-known pâtissier.
Oh, right, okay.
And then he kind of like worked his way up. And he developed more refined style of cooking, and he started using herbs and vegetables, and he sort of invented what's known today as the 5 mother sauces, which are used in everyday. Well, I say everyday home cooking. I mean, that's if you use things like bechamel, velouté, espagnole, hollandaise, and tomato sauce.
Sure.
In your home cooking.
Yes.
He's called like the chef of kings and the king of chefs.
Oh, what a great title.
I know. Although there's another chef later on who we'll talk about in a minute who also used that title as well.
Right, okay.
But Carême was the first one to use it. And there was a reason for that, because Carême cooked for Napoleon.
Oh, did he really?
And King George IV. And Tsar Alexander I.
Wow.
So he got around a bit.
He did, didn't he? God, he
did quite a lot of like posh cooking in posh houses. And he went on to influence the other chap that we're going to be talking about, Georges Auguste Escoffier.
Ah, yes.
And Escoffier was the modern kitchen started with Escoffier.
Yeah.
Although he was a young apprentice in restaurants when they were fairly sort of grubby, noisy, drunken places.
Right.
And he wasn't very tall. And he actually had to wear platform shoes to see over the hob.
Did he?
He's really quite short.
Oh, brilliant.
But he started off doing that. And then he got conscripted into the army.
Oh.
Just after arriving in Paris. And he thought, okay, well, I'll serve in the army. So he served in the army. And he saw in the army how the army organised itself into, dedicated people doing dedicated things. And that started this idea in his head of the brigade.
Oh, I see.
In the kitchen.
Yes.
So because he'd been in the army, he kind of went, okay, well, we need to get this sorted.
Yeah.
And we need to have it as like, there's a head chef, there's a pastry chef, there's a sous chef, there's all sorts of different chefs in the kitchen who all have their own tasks.
Yes.
And that's the way it worked.
Right. So that came out of his experience in the military.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he met a guy called Ritz.
Did he?
Yes.
The guy who made the crackers?
César Ritz.
Ah, him.
Yes. And things went from strength to strength.
And the rest is history.
The other thing that Escoffier introduced, which I thought was quite interesting, is he made, there's like the French way of serving food, where you just serve it when it's ready. A bit like Chinese restaurants or when they kind of just bring the food up when it's ready.
Yeah.
Or there's the Russian way of serving food, which is course by course.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the way we have food now is you have like a starter, a main course, and a dessert.
Yeah.
And they come, one by one in serial.
Yeah.
Rather than parallel.
Yes.
So that the things don't get cold. As you're sort of waiting for your nice hot pudding, and you're sort of like you're served with everything at the same time.
Yes.
So Escoffier changed that and basically brought that into popularity.
Yeah.
And he also worked with this guy César Ritz, and there are hotels.
I've heard of those. Yes.
So Escoffier kind of just brought all these proper chef-like things into being, including uniforms.
Yes. Now I was going to reference that. This was these two gentlemen in particular. I think Carême first sketched the idea of a chef's uniform. Baggy trousers, white jacket, double-breasted jacket, big white hat, etc. As a sort of a concept, but Escoffier really latched onto it and really sort of started using that as a uniform. I think he made it mandatory that all chefs should wear that uniform in each of his restaurants that he owned around London.
Well, it's practical as well as anything else, isn't it? You've got nice thick white material to stop you getting burned or stop spills from hurting you.
Yeah. I believe that the white uniform sort of represented cleanliness.
Yes.
Look at this chef. He's making all these amazing bits of food. There's sauces splashing around all over the place, but he's kept his jacket so pristine.
Yes.
Ergo, his kitchen must also be really pristine.
Yes.
My favourite piece of a chef's uniform is the hat, known as a toque. So the word toque is originally an Arabic word for a hat, specifically a brimless hat, and it's thousands of years old. But the one used by chefs, the big white thing, is called a toque blanche, so a white hat. And historically, I don't think it's so much the case anymore, but historically the height of your hat represented your seniority in chefdom.
Okay.
So if you were a junior chef, you sort of had quite a short hat, almost a skull cap.
Yeah.
Then you sort of went through those floppy hats that, pastry chefs and bakers wear, to the big, tall hat that signifies your seniority. Apparently, Carême's hat was 18 inches tall and supported with cardboard inserts to make it stand upright.
Well, given that he was quite short.
Well, yes, that would help as well, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And apparently, again, historically, the higher number of pleats that you had in your hat also represented your seniority. It was sort of one pleat for every dish that you had mastered to make. Every technique, yeah. And the most senior people would have 100 pleats in their hat to show that they knew 100 ways to cook an egg. I can't even think of 10.
I can probably hang on 1, 2. I can probably think of about 6.
Okay, you've got
unless you're counting for like fried egg, over easy.
Or the different subsections.
There's two different.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And the jacket, of course, with this sort of fairly thick jacket.
Yeah.
Buttons on the jacket.
Yeah.
Signifying things. Did you know this?
Oh no, I didn't know.
So chef's buttons. If you're a qualified chef, you wear black buttons.
Okay.
And students wear white buttons.
Oh really?
Apparently.
How charming.
They're originally sort of knotted cloth buttons, so that they would survive frequent washing.
Right. Okay.
But
brilliant.
There are other things as well. There's things like the checked houndstooth trousers and all those things.
Apparently, those are. I don't quite understand this logic, but if the white jacket is there to show you how clean and pristine they are, the checked trousers are there to mask the spilled food. Presumably, I don't know. Maybe it's more likely that you splash something on your trousers than on your jacket. I don't know, but apparently that's why they look like a chessboard.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I'm wearing an apron or something like that when I'm cooking, I usually use it to wipe my hands on.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So it's actually the grubbiest piece of material that I wear when I'm cooking.
Hence, when you sort of see on TV, someone in a restaurant asks to give their compliments to the chef immediately takes off their grubby apron and then walks out into the restaurant looking all pristine and fresh.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, you know what most chefs want?
No, tell me what they want.
Well, they want several things. I mean, they want sharp knives. We'll get on to knives in a minute.
Okay.
But they also want a Michelin star.
Oh, yes, of course they do.
So the history of the Michelin star is that the brothers who invented the Michelin inflatable tyre wanted people to use their tyres more by going on longer journeys. So they invented the Guide Michelin. which is basically it's like a travel book to show you where you could go find nice places to go and visit, or nice roads, or nice places to eat. And so the Guide Michelin started off to sort of tell people to go to nice restaurants.
Yeah.
And they awarded stars for this. So the way it works is that they have these anonymous inspectors that go around all of the restaurants, and they use 5 key criteria to measure the restaurant. There's like quality of ingredients, mastery of techniques, harmony of flavors, chef's personality, and consistency. If they go back a couple of times, was it the second or third time as it was the first time?
God, what an arduous job having to visit these restaurants again and again.
They're generally sort of former restaurants and hospitality professionals.
Right, okay.
And they're always anonymous. You will never know when you're being visited by a Michelin inspector.
Yeah.
So I talked about the 5 criteria. There are no other factors, provided you have good quality, fresh ingredients, and you know what you're doing when you cook, and the flavours work together, and you're not a complete arsehole. Well, although that doesn't always work.
Sure.
And consistency. There are no other factors. So even if you're working out of a really a rough old basement somewhere,
right,
you can still get a Michelin star or 2.
That's brilliant.
The decor, service, atmosphere, not considered at all.
Yeah.
It's purely about the food.
That's great. Wow.
And then you get awarded a star, or 2 stars, or 3 stars. If it's a 1 star, then that just means it's high quality cooking worth a stop on the Guide Michelin. 2 stars signifies excellent cooking worth a detour.
Okay.
So go out of your way. 3 stars represents exceptional cuisine worth a special journey.
Ooh, wow.
And that's actually what they mean. Those are the 3 levels of star.
Isn't that wonderful? I'd always sort of thought of the Michelin star as having nothing to do with the Michelin man of tyres.
Yes.
Especially because of the way that we pronounce Michelin.
Yes.
Michelin tyres. It's nothing to do with good food. So I was quite surprised to find that these things are so connected. And the fact that, as you said, it just sort of started off as a travel guide. The first copy, the book came out in 1900, and it was originally, where's my nearest petrol station? Where's my nearest Michelin tyre shop?
Yes.
It was there largely to promote their own businesses and services. And it only it came out in 1900. It only started including restaurants and hotels in the 1920s. And the stars only came out in 1926. So it had a good long life before it actually started talking about food.
Yes. Apparently one of the Michelin brothers saw 5 of his guides being used to hold a table up. And,
right.
And he said, right, people aren't taking this seriously. We're going to have to charge for it. So up until that point, it was free.
Right.
And then they just started charging 7 francs per book.
Oh, great.
After that.
Oh, brilliant.
Just to give it some more importance.
Oh,
but the Michelin character is called Bibendum. The man
what?
made of tyres. Bibendum.
Bibendum.
Yes.
Ooh.
And there's actually a restaurant called Bibendum, which is in an old Michelin tyre shop.
Oh, really?
In Kensington.
I didn't know that. I just thought he was called the Michelin Man.
I'll tell you what, I'll put a picture of the shop on our show notes.
Where would people find those show notes, Bruce?
That would be something like Factoraly.com.
Factoraly.com?
Yeah, let's assume that's it.
Okay, fine. Good.
Okay.
Well, head over there and have a look at what we're talking about.
Yeah, you'll find lots more information about all sorts of things that we're talking about today.
You will.
And it'll keep you occupied for more time than you can probably spare.
Absolutely. It'll take you on a very, very deep dive, so brace yourselves.
I apologise in advance.
Oh, no, I don't. It's a wonderful repository. I had a little... it all seems to come back to Escoffier, doesn't it? One of my favourite facts of all time is regarding Escoffier. And it's a slightly long-winded fact, so brace yourself. But essentially, Escoffier invented the peach melba dessert.
Oh, yes.
He invented it whilst working at the Savoy. And this fact is that the peach melba is indirectly named after a mill in Derbyshire.
Oh, okay, because I was expecting something else entirely.
Right, okay, well, it will probably go via what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Escoffier invented the peach melba in honour of Dame Nellie Melba, the Australian opera singer who was on tour in London and staying at the Savoy.
Yes.
Dame Nellie Melba, not her real name, she called herself that in honour of her hometown Melbourne in Australia.
Yes.
Melbourne, Australia was founded in the Victorian era, and it was named after Lord Melbourne, who was the British Prime Minister at the time.
Yes.
Lord Melbourne was given his title because his family owned Melbourne Hall. Melbourne Hall is in Derbyshire and named after the town of Melbourne. The name of Melbourne originally was called Millbourne, which means mill stream, because there was a stream in a mill. So via that chain of events, the Peach Melba is named after a mill in Derbyshire.
Congratulations, you win today's prize.
Thank you so much. What do I win? Some Peach Melba.
The other thing that chefs are very keen on, apart from the Michelin star, are their knives.
Oh yes, of course they are.
You know how when you have a fountain pen, you never let anybody borrow your fountain pen because it's your shape.
Yeah,
it's yours. Chefs will never lend their knives to anyone.
They're very personal, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, okay. There are two different types of chef's knives. There's Japanese knives and German knives.
Okay.
Which are different, slightly different shapes. So the German knife was developed by Henkel's. And the Japanese knives were originated in Seki. And they're really very, very effective knives. And the German ones are sort of heavier and have thicker blades and could be used with much more force. But the Japanese knives are much finer. And they have they get actually sharper edges and things like that. They're very delicate.
I've seen videos of these things that you sort of see someone having just sharpened their Japanese knife, and they simply, I don't know, they just sort of touch a tomato and the tomato just falls to pieces. There's no effort or weight applied to it at all. It just sort of cuts through. It can cut through the thinnest sheet of paper that's not even under tension. It's quite impressive.
It's like the chiffon scarf test for a sword. I would imagine that a chef's knife could go through a chiffon scarf as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And these days they're made of all sorts of, they're made of stainless steel, but they're also made of ceramics.
Oh, yes.
So there are ceramic knives, which are, they're made of something called zirconium oxide.
Right.
And it takes 300 tons of pressure to make a ceramic knife.
Crikey.
And they're light, they're sharp, they're temperature resistant, they're rust proof, and they're really good. But if you drop them, they just shatter.
Right, okay, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, not good. So they're very, very, they're delicate, but they're delicate.
Yeah.
Whereas a carbon steel knife has been, carbon forging for swords is sort of quite common. And carbon steel makes a really good, strong, versatile knife.
Right.
But you can also use titanium.
Oh, can you?
And they're very, very popular now.
Huh.
They're light and they're more resilient, and they don't break if you drop them.
Yes, yeah.
But they are very common, and they don't hold a sharp edge for particularly long. You have to keep sharpening them,
right?
Because
Okay.
they lose their edge.
Yeah.
But chefs are really fussy about their knives. If you want to get a chef talking, ask him about his knives.
Yes. You sort of see people with those almost belts. They look like a work belt,
Yeah.
which they unfold, and they just have a knife for every possible occasion, every size and grade and everything, and they sort of carry those knives with them as they go through their career. I think it's quite common to be presented with a set of knives once you've passed from culinary school.
Yes, and they have their own whetstones to sharpen them on, and there's exact angles that they have to have them at, and different strengths of sharpening stone. And it's really, we could do a whole episode on chef's knives.
We probably could.
And we won't.
We won't. I said I wouldn't go into TV chefs because there's too many of them.
Yes.
But I was just surprised at how many there are. We sort of talked about the first celebrity chefs being headhunted by the Pope. We talked about Carême and Escoffier. And I don't know, it's just always been a thing. If you get a particularly good chef who can cook in a particularly interesting or unique way, the public seemed to really latch onto them. And then, of course,
came
television, and the whole thing just went wild.
Yes.
And I sort of felt that I could name a couple of celebrity chefs. I went online to see if I could find a list. And these are just the ones that I've heard of. There are many, many more. But from this list, the ones I've heard of include Fanny Craddock, Ainsley Harriott, Julia Child, Keith Floyd, Jamie Oliver, Nigella Lawson, Gordon Ramsay, Heston Blumenthal, The Hairy Bikers, The Two Fat Ladies, Gino DeCampo, James Martin, Mary Berry, Paul Hollywood, Hugh Fernley Whittingstall, Anthony Worrell Thompson, Delia Smith, Paul Rankin and Rick Stein. There are just lots.
There are lots.
Each with their own personal cookbooks, their own TV shows.
Several cookbooks.
Yes, absolutely.
Thousands of cookbooks between them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. But, I mean, people like Julia Child, for example, she brought sort of French cooking to America.
Yes, that's
on
right.
TV.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a TV series about Julia Child called The French Chef.
Okay.
Other sort of interesting things about the celebrity chefs, which I quite like, is Delia Smith, is another very famous celebrity chef, with rock and roll links.
Oh, really? How?
Yes, she. Okay, so do you know the Rolling Stones record "Let It Bleed"?
Sure. Yes.
And on the front of that, there's a cake.
Right.
It's iconic because it's one of the first album covers that didn't feature the band.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so this cake on the front of "Let It Bleed" was baked by Delia Smith.
Was it really?
Yes.
How wonderful. That's a thing to put on your CV, isn't it?
But the first TV chef that I can remember was Fanny Craddock and Johnny.
Yeah.
I think there are so many people who learned to cook through that. Simon, tell me all about what Guinness has to say about chefs.
Okay, well, I'll narrow this down. One of these records is just my favourite, so I've not gone too far into this.
You're starting with the really good one.
I'll save that one till second. But
right. Okay.
one record I found was for the longest cooking marathon, which was held by an Irish chef called Alan Fisher. And the record, I cannot believe that he actually personally cooked for this long. So maybe he had a team under him and he went and had a quick nap. I don't know. But his record was 119 hours, 57 minutes and 16 seconds.
Cooking?
Yeah, that's basically 5 days straight.
Wow.
So I don't understand how that's possible. That was achieved in October 2023. He was an Irish chef in Japan, and this thing he did to sort of promote the Irish cuisine culture. In that time, he cooked 32 recipes. He served 3,360 portions of food, weighing a total of 590 kilograms.
Okay.
And it doesn't technically say whether he went off and had a quick nap at any point, but I don't know how anyone could stay awake for 5 days, let alone be constantly cooking for 5 days. So that's cool, that's impressive enough. But then I found this fella, a Canadian chap called Wallace Wong, also known as the Six-Pack Chef.
Six-Pack Chef?
He used to be a professional competitive bodybuilder.
Okay.
Before becoming a chef. And he claims to be the world's fastest chef. Basically, his knife work is incredible. He's got a TikTok channel and he does all of these videos. And he has multiple world records. I saw a throwaway thing saying at a recent event he added another 9 Guinness World Records to his belt. So he added 9, how many he already had. But his world records include most tomatoes cut in 1 minute, 14. Most tomatoes cut in 1 minute whilst blindfolded, 9. Most slices of celery sliced in 30 seconds, 128. Most slices of celery sliced whilst blindfolded in 30 seconds, 125, only 3 less.
Wow.
The fastest time to slice a bell pepper, 9.43 seconds. Most slices of garlic sliced in 30 seconds, 117. He sliced 127 blindfolded. He can slice garlic faster blindfolded than not blindfolded. Most number of chilies chopped in 30 seconds, 13. Most slices of carrots sliced while blindfolded in 30 seconds, 121. Etc., etc. He's very, very fast with a knife.
We'll have to put some videos up on the blog.
Absolutely. So he fascinated me. I think that's quite an achievement.
Yes. And how many fingers does he have?
It didn't say that he's lost any. So far, so good.
Wow.
Well, I think all of my chef-related facts have been served up.
Oh, that's very good. Mine have gone across the pass.
Lovely.
So that's all we have to give you today.
It is. We hope you've enjoyed our serving of chefy-related facts.
And if you'd like to be served more, if you'd like seconds or even thirds or fourths,
yes,
then please subscribe to the podcast.
Please do.
You can leave us a nice 5-star review. I mean, obviously 3 stars is what Michelin wants.
But we want 5. Yeah, totally different kettle of fish, yeah.
And a really nice review, obviously.
That would be lovely. And then please tell all of your equally nerdy friends about this podcast so that they can come along and enjoy the fun as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for coming along and listening. Please come again next time for another fun-filled episode of
Factoraly.
Très bien. Au revoir.
Cheerio.